we're going to roll into league average. And, of course, this is Fat Eddie Curry, Andrew Bynum, and Super Buff Carl
also known as
Malone.
Eddie Curry.
I think that's an enhanced Eddie Curry. I don't think that's just normal Eddie
No,
Curry.
that is legit.
That's legit Eddie Curry? Okay, I thought Anthony Bain had taken a few liberties there. Anyway, my league average is TV contracts, local TV contracts to be exact, because I think that's going to be that's kind of the main issue with between NBA owners is that the streams of revenue, which the mainstream for a team like the Lakers is going to be their $200 million TV revenue deal each year, is going to kind of outweigh by so far what smaller teams are able to produce, that without aggressive revenue sharing, a hard cap based on BRI that includes those things isn't going to be helpful. So what I think the league needs to do is figure out kind of a league average that teams should be expected to make on their own local revenue deals, and then work the revenue sharing back from that. And I think, because I really don't think that the owners are going to be able to get a hard cap, which is what they would use to make that sort of revenue sharing, where a team gets penalized for outspending another. They're going to try to get rid of that. So that's my league average.
My league average is, we just discussed briefly Rashad McCants with Sebastian, and my league average is Rashad McCants. He is completely below league average. I know the talent is there, but in terms of actually putting the talent to any kind of good use, he's borderline just learning disabled. He is a terrible player because he makes terrible decisions. That's one of the reasons. He's not a guy who just ended up on a bad team and couldn't be successful because of that. He couldn't be successful because he was a bad player in the league, and he couldn't find a way to, one, endear his team to actually give a chance to him to make up for his bad years, and two, because he just wasn't good enough. If you can play in the league, then you will be in the league. There are very few guys that get kicked out, and he's just not one of them.
I think we should blacklist Zach for again talking about somebody connected to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You brought up the Wolves!
I don't remember that, Zach. That sounds very fanciful of you. I don't recall what you're talking about. And as to what Beckley said, what I find interesting about the TV contracts is that a lot of them are secret. I had the opportunity of talking to Joe Lacob about a week and a half ago, if you could call it that, because he wouldn't tell me when I asked him specifically what the Warriors' local TV deal is. He wouldn't tell me. Possibly because it's controversial, and possibly because some teams don't want to give that information away. But getting to my league average, I wanted to carp and to whine about a rebuttal to the brilliant Taylor Branch post, but we can't exactly. On the True Hoop Network, we have some rules. We don't tend to go after other writers, and criticism is sort of not okay. So I want to say that Seth Davis's piece in SI rebutting Taylor Branch didn't not suck. And I'm not saying that it was bad and that the arguments were flawed, but if you did say that, I might not jump up and disagree with you. So I don't particularly like arguments that are very negative. In response, particularly negative about when it comes to possibly paying NCAA players. I think it's the moral thing to do and the right thing to do, and I don't like that kind of anti-can-do spirit of, it would be so complicated, it would be impossible, they get a tuition. It's just clearly at this point there's so much money in the game that something needs to be done, and the whole bloated infrastructure is completely teetering. So I invite you to not read that, or maybe not read that, depending on how you want to take it.
I have no idea how to take that. I invite you to read it because you should always read counterpoints, and I think that both sides, I think he brings up a couple interesting things. I think that a couple of his arguments are, it's always hard when your whole piece is just attacking another writer's piece, but that's how it goes. Seth probably won't be coming on this show to defend it, so you should take your shots now, Ethan.
That's probably true. I mean, we have to bring on our prize guest. I just quickly say that I don't like the idea that they get to make money in the free market anyway, because they can go and make that money in the NBA and in football, because essentially those operations are colluding with the NCAA to get a free farm system, and that's not a free market. It's a contrivance that robs elite players of a whole lot of money, and everybody knows it. It's plain as day.